Oh, you're here. Hello! Right, let's begin. I am Jennifer, this is ATV Tuition, and it's part 2 of the Science Makes Sense series. And today, this video is for you chemists there, you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. And we are going to be looking at how we calculate empirical and molecular formulae. So, the most important thing that you will learn from this video is that skipping steps doesn't do you any favors. So every single thing that I have written down here is to make sure that you write every single thing that I have written down here when you have to perform such calculations, because I want you to get as many marks as you possibly can, because you want you to get you as many marks as you possibly can. Did I say that right? I really hope so. I hope that at least made some sense. So let's get started, and we are going to be looking at something that each and every one of us can relate to consuming maybe slightly too much of from time to time, and that is caffeine. So with that being said, let's look at the question. So a caffeine is said to contain 49.48% carbon, 51.9% hydrogen, and 16.48% oxygen, and 28.85% nitrogen. You have two jobs. 1, calculate the empirical formula. Number 2, if the molecular weight of this is said to be 194.19, calculate the molecular formula. So let's go through that step by step. Step 1, calculate the number of moles of each element. Now, everything that you have to write in your answers is on this board shown in purple. So that means do not skip any of these steps. I am helping you. So first thing you need to be able to make sure is that since everything is being given to you in terms of the elements in percentages, you must show that you are equating those percentages to mass by stating that 100% is equal to 100 grams. We will therefore now take all of these percentages for each of these elements as masses. So the mass value then can be used with the molecular mass of each of these elements to calculate the moles for each of these particular elements. So 49.48 over 12 will give you 4.165 moles of carbon. 16.48 grams of oxygen divided by its molecular weight of 16 gives you 1.03 moles. And for hydrogen, we have 5.19 moles. And for nitrogen, we have 2.061 moles. So that takes us to step 2, which is to calculate the smallest mole ratio of each element. And so we do this now by dividing each of the mole values by the smallest mole value. So for carbon, you're dividing 4.165 by 1.03. For hydrogen, you're dividing 5.9 by 1.03. For oxygen, which was the smallest number of moles in this whole equation, it's 1.03 obviously by itself. And for nitrogen, you're dividing 2.061 by 1.03. So then you now get a ratio of 4 to 5 to 1 to 2. And therefore, your empirical formula, which is step 3, so now you can actually write this down, is C4H5N2O. Job done for part 1, which is calculating the empirical formula. So now we're going to look at how we calculate the molecular formula, which then takes us to our final 2 steps. So step 4 is to calculate, first of all, the molecular weight of the empirical formula, because then that will give us a factor by which we have to multiply through the empirical formula to then get our molecular formula. And what I mean by that is this. So if we calculate the molecular weight of the empirical formula as by multiplying each of your elements by the number of the particular atoms that are contained within the empirical formula for caffeine, that then gives us a value of 97 grams per mole. If we then take our given molecular weight, 194.19, and we divide that by 97, that then gives us 2. So then in our final step, we then multiply that value by the empirical formula that we have, and so then that gives us C8H10N4O2. And that's it. That's exactly all of these steps will help you to be able to calculate empirical formulae and molecular formulae. So remember, it is very important to include every single bit of this in your answers. I am helping you get every single possible mark. Do not hop, skip, jump over these steps. I am pleading with you. It is very, very, very important. Every single one of these things must be in there. And that's it for today. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I know I'm speaking extremely fast, but as you can see, I've probably had a bit too much caffeine. So what you now need to do is like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, but please don't follow me home because that's a bit scary. If, however, you follow me to bring me some Nando's, I'm always very grateful and happy to receive it. And so I shall see you in the next video. Bye.